Please show me an hour with Valentino and Joe Pay. New York Guinea is on the loose. New York Guinea is on the juice. New York Guinea is all the truth. Please enjoy our show and maybe your masseuse is listening too, so give her a splooge. Gregg and Joe, Joe and Gregg, Joe and Gregg, Gregg and Joe. I can't come up with any lyrics, so just start the fucking show, bro. And let's hope our two guineas aren't a no-show. So now let's go.
Oh, baby. Make
Dude,
America
oh, shit.
Swole again.
My
Clean
Swole.
out.
My
Get
Swole.
him on board. He's cleaning house, so you can make America Swole again hat and get yourself swole again with the Swole Life. Presents Gregg and Joe. And there he
There you
is.
go, bro. I forget what wrong one.
You got you were using it, and that's why you forgot it.
You know, it's funny
out there.
because the clean energy one's in my gym bag, and I got to get it out. But this is the hydration one.
Hydration. I got a little hydration.
See,
here.
people don't realize. I think they think we're just. Where's my fucking? I'll show you right now. These people don't realize. Look, it's in my fucking gym bag, right here. I gotta take because I really do use the. I really do use it, Joe. What pocket? Oh, they got it backwards. I mean, I really do use the Swol. Where the fuck is it now? Pull me a lighter.
Candace, that's the first time you've seen it. You know who's responsible for that? Siadich. This guy right here.
Look, right now.
Look.
Look,
Demons.
here's my gym bag right there, and the first thing that comes out
There's
is
your
Swol. And look, just to prove it to you fucking guys that we really look. It's almost empty. Look,
It's
and that's
almost
a tiny.
empty.
That's a tiny scooper. So you guys, honestly, right here, Swole Energy. This is the clean energy. Is my favorite. You know, I do take this one too. Look, this one's. You know, this one's almost empty.
There you go.
Okay.
And Gregg, they say 15%, MSM 15.
Yeah,
Guys,
but I don't want people, Joe. I don't want people to think that we're just trying to hawk this shit. I do use it. Okay.
yeah,
Obviously,
and there's my Swole Life water bottle. It's a small one. It's nice.
dude, it's legit.
One that always fall out of your bag.
This
Yeah,
is the
you know,
best one.
take care of these guys. They even got fucking nice fucking test pills.
I use that. That's over there. But
Take
this
care of
is
these guys because
gym bag.
me and Gregg, we want them to stick around.
People know we do want them to stick around, but I like taking shit. I really do.
we like their stuff. So guys,
No, that
trust us.
That's a fucking Coke spoon scooper in there, and look how much I fucking. It's almost at the end. You can see.
If
I
us
mean-
old fucks get something out of it, you young bucks are gonna get more
Yeah.
out of it. AJ.
Hey
and
AJ, what's going on?
There it
CH.
is. We got Denmark. We got Europe, England, UK. What's going on? Gregg, are you gonna summon any demons? Who gonna close one?
Oh shit, dude, that was such bullshit yesterday. It's unbelievable. You know,
I
he's
did
talking
not
about-
see it. I don't know anything about it. I'm curious now.
Dave had you know, he had on a guy who does psychic
Oh.
readings, you know.
Yes. Lucia texted me about and gave me the guy's name. She told me he was like a medium on yesterday's RX show.
He's a nice kid. He's an Italian boy. I think he's from down where you live, somewhere down there, Long Island.
Okay.
He's a nice
I can
kid.
look him up. She gave me his Instagram name.
But I just don't know about all that, you know, talking to the dead shit. If they, you know, it's just like, let me tell you something. If there's people who really can talk to the dead, it goes in the same thing with me as like people who actually, like, you know, the word of God, you know, like Joyce Mayer and all that, the fucking guy that owns the Houston fucking Astrodome down there, whatever, didn't want to let people in the flood because he's a good man. But those kind of people, Jesus Christ stood on the mountain, right? And he never said to, you know, like one of his apostles, do me a favor, pass that basket around. Let's get some money going. Right? He never said that because the word of God is free. So when some fucking guy charges you, you know, we need to raise, God said to help the church, we need to raise money. And they
Open your hearts and your pocketbooks.
Dude, $1,500 sometimes just to get a seat in a fucking stadium. And think about it. They get 100,000 people times $1,500. That's some shut. They drive around.
Oh.
So it's all hoopla. I honestly believe if a guy has or a woman has the real ability to talk to like the dead, you could never charge for that because I believe God would take that away. You know, that ability. I don't even know if it really exists, but if it did, I'm saying, but when John Romano said yesterday on the show, okay, my father did something. If you're talking to my father, ask him what he did that really changed my life and whatever, right? And the guy was like, okay, first let's see more about your father. So wait, you just diverted that whole thing. Well, he was a kind man. He was nice. Yeah. Everybody says that about their father, right? You know when somebody, these psychics all say the same thing. Oh, they're here with you. They love you. They're saying, don't worry about them. They're in a bed. They never say, you know what? You were a motherfucker. When they were alive, you were a motherfucker. That fucking, he's saying, when you fucking die, I can't wait to see you so I fucking kill you again. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. You never hear that shit, right? It's always like, you had the worst father on the planet, some guy that fucking pinched your penis when you were 5 and shit like that. And but he loves you. He's by your side. Yeah. No, he's not. He's a motherfucker. You know what I mean? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. I gotta watch it now because I'm curious to see what this kid said with that.
Thank you.
Gregg, we need more people like you in the world. I hate fakes and phonies. You kept it real about the disgusting vegan sandwich, and you kept it real about the so-called psychic. Respect. Who gonna close?
Thank you. Who gonna close? Listen to me.
It's better myself. I agree with
Dave
all, and
asked me-
I want to see the psychic thing so I can agree with that last part.
Joe, did you ever watch Chris Angel? He, who's actually friends with Dave. He went to the same high school, graduated same with Dave.
Yes,
but,
my wife. Well, they went to high school. She went to high school with Dave also. Chris Angel.
Oh, I didn't know that. Did she?
Yeah,
really?
yeah. She knows him from Meadow High School.
Jane's not a Brooklyn girl. She's a Long Island girl.
She's a East Cupcaker. Yeah, like Dave.
And
Chris Angel, I think, was like a year or two above them. My wife said he was like a quiet guy. He wasn't,
Yeah.
You wouldn't know anything about him.
Dave's still close friends when he goes out to see him in Vegas. But here's the thing.
That's cool.
The thing is that it's funny. Guys, listen to me. Here's the irony of life right here. Okay? Right here. Here's the irony of life. And I'm just thinking about this on this show right now. But now that I'm thinking about it, next time I'm going to fucking hit Dave with this shit. So don't let him know I'm saying this. Listen to me. Dave's very close with Chris Angel. They know each other, again, from school and everything. Now, Chris Angel says, here's $1 million. I want somebody to prove that he's like that guy, the amazing Randy, that has challenged Uri Geller, all those fucking people, all those super famous. Not one has passed. Chris Angel said there's nobody that can talk to the dead. It's all bullshit. You cannot speak to the afterlife. Prove it to me right now. You'll get $1 million. And nobody can prove it. Now, Dave says his sister talks to the dead. His sister's a psychic medium, by the way, Dave's sister.
I remember that. Yeah, you got
right. And that kid, Nick the Stick, who's a nice kid. So, Nick, if you watch it, you're a nice kid. I like the kid. He's a nice boy. He's Italian, too, so we got to like that. But the thing is, Italian-American. But the thing is, talking to the dead's a whole fucking another story. And it's funny because Dave's got the ultimate, is friends with the ultimate guy who's against that, yet Dave is so believing in that shit. So he should really get his friend Chris Angel on the show, then get his sister and that kid on the show. And one of them could walk away with $1 million. All they have to do is prove to Chris Angel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It would. Listen, you always hope it's real because then it's a nice thing.
Yes.
There is an afterlife. There's still,
I do believe that. I gave you a whole speech. I remember, when your father died. I do believe that, but I don't believe that means that you can talk to the dead. And,
somebody has powers to be able to. Yeah, I don't know where I stand on it. More towards the not than towards the yes. But over the years, I've tried to be a little more open-minded about it, but I still don't know.
Well, that's why, Joe, you and I are both into that, like ghost hunting and shit. Like you, I like that because if that's the case, that'll answer it. But nobody's sitting there talking to the, to the dead and shit like that, like sitting there, like oh, your mother says she's funny.
The name would it be Bob? My Uncle Bob. He's got a deck of cards. He always played canasta. You know, they always have something. You know,
And then he took to Brioski while playing it. No, bingo. My Aunt Rita, she always, with my old fat Aunt Rita, she always, I don't have an Aunt Rita, but I like to use that name because it's Italian shit.
Hey, Chris, you lose all the weight. She wouldn't be my fat Aunt Rita.
She went to bingo every Friday night. Well, you know what? Right? Bingo, you know, the guineas with the bingo and shit.
Yeah, they twirl the basket. Greg, how are the flights? Okay, so we haven't spoke to each other since you went to the lovely
we did.
Birmingham.
We did last
week, right?
The flights sucked, AJ. They sucked. It was bad. You know what I mean? Even Dave did a whole video on bad experience. I just saw today where they were saying that if you really want to have a good flight, don't land and then have to fucking, you know, like don't have a layover. Layovers are what kills you. It's the layover. Yeah. Once I get on a plane, when I get off, I want to be at my destination. I don't want to walk to another airport, see savages. You're sitting there. Joe, I got two, the size of a, oh, come on, Greg. The White Castle hamburger, right? The size of a White, about this big. Not even the size of a regular, but about this big. There was a little chicken, like this, little piece of chicken breast, right? And a piece like this big with melted cheese. What's it?
Right?
So, $35 for one. Excuse me, $36. It was actually, I'm sorry, it wasn't one, it was two for $36. This big, Joe.
Wow.
They were like sliders. No fries, just the burger. That's how fucking thievery they are. 36 for two. I'm sorry, guys. It was 36.
And this was in the airport or on the plane?
Yeah, man. This is in the fucking airport over there. And when you're hungry,
fucking crushes, man.
Oh, dude, water.
They fuck you so hard right in the fucking ass, man.
Joe, Lucia, the fucking filthy speck, got a Slim Jim, about, you know, like that big, you know, a Slim Jim and a water. A Slim Jim? No, not a water, Pepsi. She didn't have Diet Coke. We like Diet Coke, but Slim Jim and a Diet Coke was like $12.
Jesus.
A Slim Jim.
Piece of candy, meat candy, whatever.
Dude, they get the giant Slim Jims in Dollar Tree over here for $1.25. Get the giant
$1.25 tree. Yeah.
$1.20. And dude, not for nothing. If you guys are Dollar Tree whores like I am, come. I think September it goes up to $1.50.
Is it?
Yeah. So much for Dollar Tree. And dude, not for nothing. But when Trump left office, it was still $1. It went up under, but it never goes down. Dude, once you try, it's not like in life. You throw a ball up, it comes back down. Once prices go up, it's just like right now. I found eggs like $3.99. I'm like, oh shit, $3.99. Wow. What am I? And then I say, wait, what the fuck was that? You know, when last time Trump was president, before he left, the fucking eggs, well, the pandemic and shit, they were, you know, I was getting jumbos, 82 cents in Walmart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the big fucking one.
Right.
Here she is, Miss Megan. Hi, Megan. Yo, can you stop promoting Greg's book during these shows? Nathan and I want to go to Aspen this winter with the kids.
Megan, you are funny.
Oh, you are a fucking card.
Megan, you should talk to Charlie Arms for me. Where is he?
Oh, Greg's got 2 books on Amazon that Nathan is.
Yeah, and you know what I get paid for them? Oh, gosh, because I got a bad contract. But anyway.
Yeah. The Dude, 83. We got Bush. Greg loves that Bush.
I do. The hairier the better for with that triangle down there. I love that. That's 70s.
Yeah. The golden triangle after they piss and they get stuck.
You got to put the word, when you say Bush, you have to put the word 70s Bush, because that's what they said. Dude, even Playboy, they would comb it and have it all nice and, you know.
Yeah, you couldn't see anything. It was like that was the pussy. When you were a little kid, you saw hair. You thought that was the pussy.
Right. Then come the 80s.
The opening was.
The 80s had the landing strip. The 90s had the little Hitler. And the 2000s came and you got the chicken parmesan down there. That's the uncooked chicken parmesan. You know what I'm saying? The
2 raw fucking cutlets. Yep. Siadich. Who gonna cause? I hate it when psychics, in quotes, strategically mention someone's kids to get a skeptical client to give in or budge, saying that things can make the client seem insensitive if they try to correct the psychic. Well, it's kind of part of the trick, really, right?
Wait a minute, I got to tell you, though. I think I talked about this with Sabata. But the funny, well, it's not funny, but it's really, what you're talking about, what he's talking about right there, Joe, was, I don't know if you remember, Sylvia Brown was on one of those shows, and it was a woman. They had a woman on whose daughter was like missing, abducted and missing, and she told her, your daughter's dead, and but she's with you now. She's talking to me. She's telling me she loves you and not to worry. She crossed over. I see a wooded area, the standard wooded area. And the woman, cried, and everything. And the woman wound up dying like 6 months later. And they, she supposedly died of like a broken heart. She quit living and everything. And then her daughter was found alive. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait, Joe, do you remember that? Wait, it's a very famous story.
I remember this.
Yes, you remember this? Some of you fucking guys here in the gallery, I know you would remember. Remember when they found that the black Spanish dude or whatever he was in fucking Chicago that had girls there for like 15, 16 years?
Yes.
And they finally broke away. She was one of those girls. I think she's the one who broke away. And, her mother thought she died, went to the grave. Thinking she's going to meet her in heaven.
Dude, he had 10 years. He had them in the house, and it was Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes. What did I say? Chicago's Ohio, right? Something like
he
that.
was like I don't know if he was like Costa Rican or something. He was, one of those like.
He was a short guy. I think he died in prison recently. But the thing is, she was one of those. What's that?
I think he committed suicide before his trial because he.
Did he? What? I thought he went to prison and died. But the bottom line is she was found alive, and Sylvia Browne went on national TV on one of those shows, it might have been Sally Jesse Raphael, one of those fucking things, and and the woman cried, was like this, and she's telling her, I see a wooded area, the standard bullshit. She's with you right now. I'm talking to her. She said she loves you. She's on the other side waiting. When you'll see her again and motherfucker, the girl was alive. So there you go with your fucking. You know what I mean?
Yep. This is exactly Hugo de Claus. Good point. He's saying something like I'm sensing your dead son was a big athlete. He knows that no dad will say his dead son say no, he sucked at sports. Wait, he was a handsome young man. All that. Oh, he was he was no, my son looked like a pile of shit. Nobody's gonna say that. Joe and Gregg, what's up, Matthew?
Hey, Matt, what's going on, Matthew?
Joe and Gregg from the storm. There's Paul Till. What's up, Paul?
Hey, Paul.
So Chris Angel is the guy that told Dave how to make super chat money disappear.
There you go. Very
good, Paul.
The one thing I like about Chris Angel, he says there's no such thing as magic. It's all an illusion. I consider make a fucking thing disappear.
He's a magician, but it's tricks. It's not real.
Right. I've been trying to make Lucia's mother disappear, but I can't do it.
The dude, 83. I wanted to ask Gregg, can you build a nice physique with compound exercises only, bench, dip, squat, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, what is genetics? You see these dudes in the city, they're crackheads laying there and fucking, they already got to build all they have to do. I know guys that have, there's guys in jail there's no weights where they just do push-ups. But if you have all day, if you have all day to do that shit, you know what I mean? You could do, you can, but you're not going to build. You can build a nice physique, but you're not going to get jacked like that,
Yeah, you're not going to get jacked, and you probably, compound. Let's say he's using just weights, like almost like a power lifter. Even if you're doing sets, you got to do some, different type of exercise.
Isolation exercises.
Yeah, not compound. Yeah, you do your single.
I mean, you get a build. You'll be more. I mean, if you take it serious and eat good and watch your body weight and everything, you could. You could put on some muscles. Any exercise.
Whatever's available. Yeah, whatever's available. Right. And you could. If
you're on a deserted island, that'll work.
Yeah. So Diddy has got off African racketeering, the main charge he was facing. You know why, AJ? Listen, I am no fan of P. Diddy. I think he's a fucking jerk off. This was a horseshit case. This was a headline chaser. This was, let's see if we can get other big names caught up in it. Even if they didn't commit a crime per se, they were doing some naughty things, group sex, and maybe there was an underage girl, but there's no proof. This was all bullshit from the beginning. So if I'm going to call bullshit like when they tried to sue Trump, I got to be consistent. Even though I don't like P. Diddy, I think he's a dirtbag. I think he's an asshole, and I don't like that music. He didn't fucking commit crimes here.
Well, he was around people.
They all wanted to get laid. They wanted to party and be stars. Yes, then that's different. That's a different story. I'm not saying blanket that he's innocent. I'm saying what they were trying to get him on, they were going for fucking a home run. All they needed was a sack fly, and they didn't get it. And you know why? Because Comey's daughter was the fucking prosecutor. Didn't she do one of Trump's cases too, or something?
I'm not sure, but I can tell you this: not only when you have a lot of money, and you can see that's not why Trump there was no charge. You still can't say those 37 charge or whatever the fuck. You still know they still can't say what it was that he was convicted of.
No,
but here's the thing. Here's the thing, okay? Harvey Firestein, right?
Yeah.
Bill Cosby, all those big names, they spend small amount of time in jail, come out, they all get out. Puffy Combs is coming home, trust me. But here's the other thing. Every one of them were heavy hitters. And a chick will do anything, okay? Will do it. If he said, wait, hold on, I'm going to give you $1 million and I'm going to put you in my next music video. All you have to do is eat that right now. That girl would be there.
Oh, yeah.
Because they all want fame. Every one of those guys, Firestein, Cosby, every one of those guys was with a chick, was convicted of, like molesting and all. But every one of those guys was with a willing participant.
Yes.
All it's a listen. What he did to that girl, Cassie, he beat the shit out of her.
That was he should have been. Yeah, that's different.
That is abuse. Okay, and I'm sure he's done
That's
that with a lot.
felony. Yeah.
But these people still, you know, I never understood how a woman who gets her ass kicked doesn't fucking wait till the guy's asleep and fucking bust his fuck, like just stab him in the throat or something. Because I know my mother was a tough bitch from the Bronx, And if my father ever touched my daughter, my sister, or me, or in an inappropriate or did something to hit my mother, my mother would have killed him. She would have fucking jammed the knife right to her because she did it to her stepfather. She beat the shit out of him. But the thing is, my mother was one of them real tough girls from the Bronx. Had a bad life. But here's the thing. They keep going back to the nest, Joe. A lot of these girls that were with Harvey Firestein, Cosby, and him have claimed, he touched me inappropriately. But
only
then
if they stop getting movie roles did they fucking file charges.
That's Joe, that's it. That's the fucking name of the game. Listen,
maybe ended, or she got too old. He didn't want to fuck her anymore.
Listen, if Elon Musk told me, Gregg, I'll give you 10 grand. All you have to do is blow me. I tell Lucia, he wants to give me 10 grand to blow me. You know what she'd say to me? Get your fucking knee pads out and we need the 10 grand. So I'm not even saying $1 million, bro. He could fucking fart in my face. He could do whatever the fuck you want for fucking 10 grand. Not even $1 million. For $1 million, I'd walk around and be his bitch with my finger through his belt loop. You understand? And that's the way all them fucking people feel.
Exactly.
Dude, you're gonna make money. They all fucking. Nobody at those parties walked away broke, or they were at these parties with other celebrities. You understand? So you're making connections. Oh shit, there's Leonardo. Dude, there's Leonardo DiCaprio. There's fucking Joe Materazzi. All these fucking big celebrities. So you don't give a fuck. I would have went to the party too.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying?
He could have used some baby oil on me.
I think he's a piece of shit. Don't get me wrong. He's a filthy.
Oh yeah. But this was a horseshit fucking case.
And they're all racist cocksuckers too, Joe. They're all racist motherfuckers anyway.
Yeah. Remember Dave's psychic sister was on. She accidentally showed her paper with notes on it about each guest she had written before the show. Act like
shit.
You know what? I don't know if I actually saw that.
I remember her
when she was on, but I don't think I watched it, so I don't know. But a lot of times these people do keep notes on people. Like I remember the Long Island medium. She started writing and stuff when the lady was talking. So maybe it was. I don't know. I'm not defending. I'm just saying in a general sense.
I told you there was 2 Long Island mediums. One was known as Long Island medium. The other one had a TLC show. That's the one we went to. I know both of them actually had a show.
I saw her in a restaurant one time.
I went to that. It was terrible.
She was very nice. I said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "My wife loves your show." "Oh, thank you."
Did she say? She should have said to you, "Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jane. How's the kids?"
And your bill was,
yeah,
because we were leaving,
Right. Good luck with Muscle Sport Mag.
I know which one you mean. I can't think of her name. She was a little chunky, a little older.
Yes, she was a little short and short. Same thing, the blonde hair that looked like a '60s wig. You know what I mean? Like,
wasn't as crazy as the Long Island medium.
There was 2 of them, right? It was 2 of them. Both had TV shows. This one had a very big, she had the Long Island, like Brooklyn, Long Island, the way she talked. She was Italian too, Italian. But bro, I went to see her in person, and she just bombed and shit. And people,
oh really? Okay.
Yeah, we were sitting in the audience, and other people were like, oh man, because she would pick when she was bombing real bad. All of a sudden, she's like, that girl right there, and then that girl got up, and it was a setup. The girl said, yeah, my father, this, that, and then she pulled everything out, but we all knew it was a setup because she was just bombing bad.
Yeah.
I forgot her name.
Yeah, my wife remembers. I can't think of it now. I take this psychic scam personally because I was lied to throughout my life by family members. So I quickly learned the repercussions of dishonesty and deception. The only thing I'll say about these psychic people is they usually make the person feel better when they leave than when they get. So even if it is a little fugazi, if it's not really harming anybody and it's making them feel a little better about it, listen, it's a fucking business, If you want to pay to have your palm read by some fucking gypsy, that's up to you, Enough of this topic. There he is. And here he is, Mr. Nick, son of Sammy Davis. Guys, watch Rogan's recent podcast with mentalist Oz Perlman. He's the #1 mentalist in the world. He even gets Joe's debit pin live on the air. He said psychics are scam. Now, what exactly is a mentalist? I remember there was that TV show not too long ago.
That's what Uri Geller was. It's all bullshit. They can actually write down.
Mind reader?
Yeah, something like that. Like, Joe, I'm going to write down the name of your favorite aunt right here on a piece of paper. Think about it. I want you to think about it. The name of your favorite aunt. Think about it real fast. Okay, Aunt Rita. Okay. You don't say anything. I have the paper folded up now. Joe, what was your name of your favorite aunt? My favorite aunt was my mother's sister, my Aunt Rita. Okay, under the paper. And hold it up. Aunt Rita. I don't know how they do it, but there's a trick to it because Chris Angel blows that away. It's all right, how about this? I'll name something. Think in my head. All right, I'll write down something. You tell me what I just wrote down. And they can't do it. You ever see Uri Geller? Joe. Guys, there's a whole thing where Johnny Carson had Uri Geller on, okay? And he called him out on it. He said, I'm going to fucking expose this. And he did. And Uri Geller's like, you're like messing with my psychic energy. I can't. And he's like, because you can't do it because it's not real.
Is that where we got the amazing
Carsonian?
Remember the Carsonian? He wore the fucking
the amazing Karnak or whatever it was.
Karnak.
I see Joe. Joe's getting sex tonight, and it's gonna be like 69, and this and that. Joe's like, well, that ain't happening.
Yeah. Now I know you're a fucking phony.
No, your wife was like this in the background. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right. Miranda writes, what's up, Miranda? Joe, you should try to get your magazine at airports. The only place they'll still buy them. Amanda, you are correct with people buying, but to get magazines on newsstands is a losing proposition. You get pennies on the dollar. You have to pay for just the distribution and the pickup, and they throw them out when they're done that they don't sell. They just send you back the cover to prove that there was 5 copies left, let's say.
Right.
When I worked for the sports magazine, we'd get things from mail from different spaces that we on the newsstand where it was returns. And it's like, it's such a waste. And we're paying for this service, and the store gets some of it. The pickup gets it. It's like, if I'm selling the book for $5, I'm lucky if I get like 75 to 80 cents on it.
And I got to be honest with you, Miranda writes, all joking aside, just in an airport, Joe, you've been in airports recently. I have not seen one person reading a magazine in that airport. Not one person's brought one on the plane. Yeah. They're all got their fucking phones out or a tablet.
But they do have the big news, like
they still do, but I don't see them selling anything. Who's buying that shit?
Remember, Blackman used to put why aren't these in the front?
He would say that to the people, and then he'd walk over there and he'd take the fucking stack of his and put it on top of the other.
On top of the flex. You know what? I would do that with my magazine, so I can't call any shit at him because I used to laugh. And Elise was in the airport when we were going to Ohio. She's like, Jesus Christ, he embarrasses the shit out of me every time with this.
Do you know what I used to do, Joe? I would go to newsstands and I would see MD on the stands. I would open it up to Ramblin' Freak and I put it out.
There you go. That's Charlie Arms. Here he is.
There he is, Charlie Arms.
Hey guys, Gregg, tell Joe the story about the time I knocked out John Stossel for trying to interview me about my affair with Debbie Reynolds and disrespecting the gym. Poor John Stossel, he gets beat up by wrestlers and Charlie Arms.
Boy, Charlie, you would kick his ass too. John Stossel.
Charlie went out with Debbie Reynolds?
I don't know about that. That's Charlie Arms and John. I don't think so, but you never know.
His affair with Debbie Reynolds.
You never know.
Beautiful, beautiful young lady. RB.
She ain't no Grace Jones. Go ahead.
No, she is not.
2 guineas on the juice. I love that. By the way, that
hello
song,
from Malta. What's up, Malta? That's not what's my fucking Kevin? Kevin from Malta. He's the guy that does bodybuilding.com or .net, I think it is. But I don't think that's
all right,
you,
Kevin. How you doing?
Malta's right near Italy, Greece, and that area. It's a
Oh shit, that's nice.
It's nice, beautiful, yeah. Seattle, JJ, I think Diddy will still do some prison time for minor cases they got him on. Yeah, I think they're gonna want to give him something, even if it's at a club fed thing. I don't know if these are fed charges or state charges, but it'll be like a very
Yes. CH is right with this one. He's right.
It's not going to be anywhere in a fucking
My girlfriend's sister, my girlfriend, the girl who died, Joyce, her sister was in the club when that happened, and there's a woman who was shot. One of the women who were shot in that club said he was literally 10 feet away from me, looked right at me when he pulled the gun, or when he shot me. She said it was no doubt in my mind it was P. Diddy, but he did. He got another rapper to take the fucking blame for that.
Somebody else took the blame.
I remember that. It was
He's telling fucking Sammy to take the fucking.
That was in 2000, the fall of 2000, I think it was.
Wow, and it's look at it, 25 years later, he's still always.
Yep. He was with Jennifer Lopez there, and she, as a matter of fact, after that shooting, she dumped him because she said, "I can't. This is too much," because she knew he did the shooting. She knew it.
We're gonna call to say in the ladies, the rapper's name is Shine. Oh, I can get in a lot of trouble with that one. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to let it speak for itself. 10 grand is nothing nowadays. Maybe to you, I would fucking.
For 10 grand, you have no idea. Let me put that big stack of money in front of you.
You're single, Cherub. I'll come to Malta. I can.
10 grand. Shit, Joe. If you
go to Italy.
Joe, if you told your wife, she'd be like, "You better get on that fucking plane. We need that money."
Damn right. By the way, last thing with the psychic, the Bible is also against it. The Bible calls those people sorcerers.
Yeah.
I
believe that.
Almost like like witches and things like that. Freddie Mac 223. What were your guys' thoughts on Arnold's comments on it? That is a really good question, Freddie. Arnold, did you see Arnold on The View?
Yeah, don't you remember when I did
regular? So
the video that Dave posted of me eating this steak with my fucking hands last week. That was a question he asked me, and I had to say it on camera. So I just said it was about time that Arnold said something smart, okay? Because he did say that when you're from another country, you're a guest here, and you need to give back. You keep taking, but you need to give back. Can I just say one thing to anybody out there, any of you guys who are woke or liberal, or maybe you have a little bit of thinking and you feel bad, they're taking away the fucking, they're taking away the people picking the vegetables and the fruit. No, they're not. Let me tell you something about the crop pickers. The crop pickers are people who've been doing this for fucking literally 100 years. Some of their grandparents, great-grandparents started. And they're migrants. What they do is they have a visa. The people that pick the crops have a visa where they actually go back and forth, right, a work visa, where they actually go back and forth.
Work visas to get 100 people on his farm.
And they get paid fucking really well.
Money,
and they go back and forth from Mexico to the United States all the time with a truck. There's a special bus and truck that brings them here. You can see it. Show me one video of a bunch of ice motherfuckers running through tripping on string bean plants and shit. They're trying to get, some poor motherfucker with like a basket full of broccoli or something, There's none of that because it doesn't exist because it's not true.
It's not true. And they're putting these guys on TV, these farmers. I lost all my workers. All of this shit is bullshit.
It's not true.
All a setup. And if he is complaining about that, that means he's hiring illegals and fucking them by paying them shit.
It's not just illegals.
Real fucking workers. Even like you said, these work visa people from other countries south of the border.
They have work visas. They all do. And if you get a farmer that's using, then that means he's driving by Home Depot or whatever. But the whole thing is, let me explain something to you about that. They're not just taking everybody that's here. They couldn't. The guy let in 20 million fucking people. What do you think? They're not. They're going for the worst first. And when you see a woman being locked up with the guy, it's because they already said, if you don't have a visa and you're here illegally and you're with a gangbanger, that's your man, like Abrego Garcia. His wife was or is an American citizen, I believe. But the thing is, if she wasn't, she'd be in that detention home because she's with him. If you are with somebody that's a gangbanger, even if you cleaning houses, it doesn't matter. And you're here illegally, you know what they say? Lay down with dogs, you catch fleas. You understand what I'm saying?
She got on the radar. If she wasn't dating this guy, they wouldn't have known. She would have been at the bottom of the this list that's out there.
And Joe, another thing, if they're going
now, she's right in front of them. So why not?
But it's happened. And the other thing is, if they go to a school to pick up a kid, it's because the parents are locked up. Do you understand? They do that today with Americans, bro. They do that with Americans. If you're a fucking mom and dad are like running crack or whatever, they're fucked up, and they both get arrested, and the kids are in school, what do you think? They just let the school bus drop them off to an? No, they usually have a fucking social worker or cop come to the school to get the kids because their kids have to go somewhere. You understand?
If there's no family member available, they got to go to BCW or whatever they call it.
Right, and usually the parents say, "No, I want the kid with me." Do you understand? So they give the choice. Do you have somebody in this family in this country that's legal? Do you have an aunt or somebody else that's legal that could come get the kid? Well, a lot of the times they say no. Sometimes they say yes. But you're not seeing. They're not running around with a butterfly net. It's just like slavery. We didn't go over to fucking Africa. Look, I got me a slave. No. Brandon Tatum even said, who's black. The first of all, the first slave owner ever in the United States was a black man. I forgot his name. He has a famous name. He was a black man. Second of all, it was the tribal chiefs would get rid of the pain in the asses in the tribe, or what they would do is capture another tribe, keep the women and shit like that, and sell the men they sold them into slavery.
They were like POWs in a way. They
right. That's exactly what they were. It wasn't
over their fucking village. Now
you guys have been fucking brainwashed, man. You've been brainwashed. Holy Christ.
But as far as Arnold said it, like what Greg, what you're saying, what we're talking about, Arnold said stuff like that, and he left them fucking Georgia.
Right. When he was, when he said, when I came here,
he was going to play their game. And
he couldn't even speak English too well when he came here. The first person he met was Leon Brown, who couldn't. I love him dearly, but he was, the way, remember the way Leon talked? Anyway,
it was hard to understand.
I love Leon. God bless him. I used to hang out with Leon all the time. Listen, but the thing is, and he's got great Arnold stories, shit you don't even know about. But the thing is that, when Arnold came here, he tried real hard, and he made something himself. Quickly got a visa, did all that shit, to come here. He got, he's saying, if you're here, you owe this country. Why do you want to be here if this country sucks and this isn't? America was never great. Oh, really? We were the first ones to abolish slavery, and we fought for our freedoms. We didn't steal the money from let me tell you, the land from the Native Americans. They were starving. They couldn't even eat. You understand? And they were fucking fighting each other unbelievably.
Forget about it.
Okay, it's just like the Middle East. Wait a minute. The Sunnis don't like the Shiites, who don't like the Kurds, who don't like the Yadiris, and whatever, the Yazidis, whatever the fuck to say. And you're like, wait a minute. What the fuck's the difference? You know what I mean? You all look the same. Nah, but I'm Sunni. He's Shia. We got to fight.
We got to fight. Yeah, we got to go.
The Native Americans didn't get along, bro.
Nope. But I'm glad Arnold said what he said.
Yes, about time.
Does it make up for some of the shit he said in the past?
Screw your freedoms.
Yeah, listen, I don't give a fuck. I go to the Arnold because it's business. I don't go there because the fucking to be a fan. If I was just a fan, I don't know. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. I still watch De Niro movies, and he's even worse.
Oh,
I'm not going to ruin my day because some asshole fucking has different political thoughts than me. If I want to watch a fucking De Niro movie and I'm going to enjoy it,
I gotta admit, I always bitch about him, but I do watch the movie still.
He's the fucking best.
And
I
the
tell you,
legend.
somebody else who's the best.
He's a disgrace to the Italian Americans, but he's definitely a legend. You know what the funniest thing is, though? with Arnold, the best thing though that I ever heard him say was on that fucking documentary he did on fucking Netflix, where he said that, you know, I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, I look at myself in the mirror now. I'm in my 70s, and I say everybody always used me as this. He's got to build like Arnold. That's Arnold. You know. And he goes, I look at myself now and I got tits. And he goes, how the fuck did I get tits? He goes, I'm supposed to be like the pinnacle of the build. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I look at me, I'm looking at me, I see what I see back is like tits. How the fuck did I get tits? I love that when he says that shit because I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I tell you something about Italians that are great. Vince, right here. Old man's tune-up.
I got this one.
There's other.
Oh, the other one over there. This is right here. Another one that I'm using all the time is
You like
Vince
pump
is the one
caps.
the pump right here, baby. The pump caps. These are badass. You know why? Because they're nitrous oxide releases, and I take them right there. The
You
pump
get that.
caps. Take it with a fucking Viagra, bro. You'll really fucking get crazy. Pump
Pumped
caps.
up with
Right
you.
It's got a little
Below
good
the-
shit. Wait,
But
maybe the peak-
Vince right here, look at his videos. He fucking picks up these like crazy heavy things, like almost like strongman kind of things. They're not like, you
And how
know, just
old is
picking
he,
up
Joe?
a bar with 40. He's like
How old-
73, I think, Vince.
Yeah, God bless him, man.
He's like 70. He fucking looks great, but he also, it's not just for guys.
Is that him too?
You old bro. Yeah, this is
He was in a bikini.
this is before his transition.
Dude, what did I do? I had the labels.
This is
I put 'em on.
Becca.
He looks hot there.
But guys, make sure you take care of Vince, vincesmuscleshop.com or oldmanstunup.com. And of course, he has some really funny fucking labels.
And you know what's funny, Joe? The good thing is, if you happen to have a heart attack while taking this shit, we got you covered with that too.
Oh, if you need to go right from San Diego or elsewhere, you can go to or from. We have the perfect person that is going to get your loved ones your remains. We'll be back right after this quick message from Chapel of Peace Cremation.
Hi, my name is Vince, and I'm the owner here at Chapel of Peace Cremation and Memorial Services, located in sunny San Diego. But don't let our location stop you from giving us a call. We ship nationally and internationally. We're here to help you with all of your family's needs. Whether we're talking about a traditional burial, a cremation, or an aquamation, we have you covered. God forbid something happens on the West Coast and you live in the East Coast, we can help you. If you need to go to another country of origin, I can do that. Call us anytime, 24 hours at 619-749-8560. I'm the owner and I'll answer. Paisan, I got you covered. I'm just kidding. That's for Joe and Greg. But for real, call us anytime. I'll answer the phone and I'll help you.
And that, of course, is Vince Kunkel, Johnny Kunkel's
West
son.
Coast Johnny. Dude, I gotta ask West Coast Joe, I gotta ask West Coast Johnny, whose ashes are in that tiny one, like this big?
Yeah, what is it, like one of those midget
That's
wrestlers
Arnold.
brought the field with you?
I like that though. I like that. That's funny. Dude, that's a legit commercial, bro. That's not a comedy thing. That's legit.
That's
You
good,
fucking-
yeah.
If somebody's
made-
dead, like
Yeah,
let's say,
it's a
let's say
legit
you-
commercial, yes.
Joe, what if you kill your neighbor? You know what you do? Quickly send the body, okay, to Johnny. They'll burn it for you. All right? Send it back in a
Okay,
box. And you can take them ashes and throw them wherever the fuck you want, and they'll never find a body.
What neighbor? That's what I mean. Yeah. You could still get 20 probably. Oh, we're talking about Diddy. John Bono. Here's my buddy. This guy, his name on Instagram is Fat Guy on a Little Bike, but you lost a lot of weight, John. So you should be Skinny Guy on a Little Bike. Hey, Joe and Greg from your favorite 51st Stater, because he's in Canada. What's
There you
up,
go.
Mo? This is the dynamic duo back. Yes, we are back. And
Yes.
we're going to do the show forever. I
We're
hope.
back in action, baby.
I hope we
Thank you,
want
John.
we enjoy this show.
Yes, we do.
I get we would do it for free, but that's not as much fun. You know?
Well, it helps. You gotta pay for the air conditioning that's not working right now. But
Yeah, I got to pay for all of this fucking electricity. I got a couple of lights going on here. Much less than 20. Yeah, he's not going to do 20
he's
years.
not
I
gonna
don't.
do no 20.
Transportation to engage in prostitution and each carries. Yeah, but it's all the judge can fucking throw the book at him or give him nothing. He could fucking, just make it a suspended sentence. It makes him feel better, Joe, but it's in a dishonest place. They take away money from people, not money to be spent on medicine for the person here. I totally agree, Hoop. I totally agree. But the person that went to the psychic medium, whatever, is doing it. They're not being forced. They want to do it. It's like the drug guy. Oh, I got addicted to heroin. Well, how? Because I kept buying it and using it. Well, if you didn't, you wouldn't.
Well,
That's
let me use this as an example. It's almost like the Bible. I'm not like, have I ever read the Bible? No. Do I want to read the Bible? No. Am I Christian? Do I believe in God and Christ? And yes, 100%, dude. I'm wearing rosary beads. You know what I'm saying? I wear, I say the rosary, everything. I do things my own way. I don't believe in no pope. I think he's a fucking evil bastard. Half the priests are no good. Half the nuns are no good. But here's the thing. My mother went to the Bronx, in the Bronx, the fucking nuns used to beat the shit out of you in school.
they were ruthless in the old days.
If you talk to like your grandmother or somebody older, that my mother and they would get their ass. The nuns would fucking hit you with rule, beat the shit out of you, because they were all dykes and they were fucking pissed that they couldn't have their own kids. But here's the thing, okay? Wait, why am I getting on it? Oh, the Bible, right? Now, I don't, there's a lot of contradiction in the Bible. A lot of, do this, do that. You can't kill an eye for an eye, all that shit. So what is it? Do I not supposed to kill or do I do the eye for an eye?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, about the Bible, okay? And it's the same thing with a psychic medium. And I'm not putting them in the same category. I'm putting them in a different. I'm saying that the power of the Bible, because there's a lot of people who read that and change their life. Billions of people over time have read that Bible and have changed their life just because of the Bible. Well, there's a lot of people who need a psychic to say, listen, your mother's next to you, she loves you, so they feel better, like, thank God, look, I believe it, I need to believe that. Do you understand? So the power of that belief that you need, whether it's the biggest, I could stand here and tell you green eggs and ham, that's like written by Jesus and stuff, and people would be like, oh my God, I changed my life. What I'm saying is, it's the power that particular thing brings. And I think if people feel good about that and they need to hear, you could sit there and tell people believe in that shit all the time. Listen, come on, he can't really speak to the dead. He told me my mother loved me. I know my mother loved me. He said my mother was always happy. My mother was, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
She was a good woman. Okay, she beat us a little bit, but she was a good woman. They need to hear that. So, and the power of that to me that's a good thing. It's just like the Bible. You understand? The people like I changed my life because I read the Bible. Then that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. I agree. Son of Sammy Davis. Chris Angel can't touch Oz Perlman's jockstrap. Look up his videos, and Oz also admits it's not magic. It's just pattern recognitions. He will blow your mind. I've never seen Oz Perlman. I don't even know if I know who he is.
Never heard of him.
Yeah,
but I can tell you this really fast, guys. I was walking. I think, Joe, I probably told you this story. I was walking in New York City a long time ago. I think it was in the 90s. A long time ago. And I'm walking in the city. I'm in Times Square. It's really hot and everything. And all of a sudden, I see all these people are just standing around. And they're looking in a store, what looks like a storefront. And I'm like, and as I'm walking by, I stop. Yeah. And I, kind of peel my way, and I'm right in the front row there, of all the people. And it's David Blaine sitting in a block of ice. And I just went like this to him, and he pointed right back to me like that, And I was like, holy shit, David, I didn't know who he was at the time. It was David Blaine. It's a very famous, actually, they filmed it and everything, so it's very famous.
Daredevil.
Right. He sat in a block of ice. How they did that, I don't know.
I don't know either, but I remember that in fucking Manhattan.
I was right there, front row. I was like,
that must have been pretty cool to see, That's pretty cool.
I didn't know who he was until I saw on the news about this guy, David Blaine, sitting in a block of ice.
So my son will be okay. Again, though, like I said, if they're going there, they want to hear something good from this guy about their loved one. So I don't know.
If it gives you that peace, then to me it's all right.
To me, I don't think it's something that I would want to do, but Miranda, okay, I understand. I don't want you to get ripped off like Gregg got with his books. Apparently, love you, Gregg. Just playing.
No, well,
Yeah, Miranda, fucking
Miranda,
newsstands were dead when I worked at MD, 2013. That's
It was-
around the time.
they were tanking. The book went from 400 and some pages to 100, like, you know, like down like that.
Yeah, and it wasn't their fault. It was the market. It was the
Books are still around. It's not that the book isn't selling. The book's selling really well. The problem is I have a bad contract, so I get a penny every time somebody buys a book. I get ugats. Today, people are self-publishing their own books and selling it online. If I would have done that, I would have made $1 million. My book is a big seller. It's just that I don't get money.
You got it published at a real publishing house,
Right. Right.
That means a lot. That's anybody can
Yes.
self-publish, you know.
But it's a bad contract I have.
I told you, we take a ride. We rewrite it a little bit. We talk. Dizzy Willow, yo. Speaking of Tito, step out of the car, Gregg. All right, for you guys that don't get that, in the latest issue of Muscle Sport,
yes,
Gregg's got a really cool supernatural story, and there is the guy in Upper Manhattan that looked like Tito Ortiz,
looked just like him,
that had the gun and was a fucking real weird fuck. So
he had that with Tito Ortiz, like back in the early 2000s, but he had a little bit of a Caesar haircut. You know, if he bleached it blonde. That was kind of a thing then, and that's, you know, when that happened like that. That guy looked exactly like, wasn't as tall as him, but he looked at the face
in the window. Good, very good fucking story. Dizzy, Willow, hope everyone has a great 4th of July. Thank you, Dizzy, and likewise.
Dizzy Willow, thank you, and happy Independence Day.
Independence from the King George.
That's right. Happy Independence Day.
Johnny Pillman, what's up? Any relation to Flying Brian? Dave's sister is the type of lady that would have helped Joey Buttafuoco talk to Mary Jo beyond the grave.
Oh my God.
She survived. Okay, I got you. See, I commented before I read the full comment, Johnny. My apologies. Me dispiace, paisano. Okay, so she would have said, you know, fucking Mary Jo is forgives you and all of that, and Mary Jo's laying in fucking some fucking hospital in Nassau County with a fucking mouth like this.
That was fucking crazy, bro. Whoever wrote this shit,
he was good looking too, Mary Jo Buttafuoco.
I think that Amy wasn't bad either. Amy Fish. She was like she was a little fiery Jewish chick.
She does what she does. She does like adult, like strip clubs and webcam stuff.
Amy Fisher.
Yeah, she got fake when she got out of jail. She got fake tits and got her all done up. She like headlines strip clubs. She's like a big item. Yeah,
dude. There's one thing I love in this world. It's a pig. I do.
She's a real skank.
I love a piggy girl. I do. I love a nasty girl.
She did webcam work, but I think she charged like you had to pay a lot to get in. This is before OnlyFans. She probably has.
I'm saying the guy who wrote that shit, he's definitely an old school guy because people today have no idea who the fuck's Joey Buttafuoco. You know, like nobody knows who the fuck that is, or Amy. You know. Because we're old men, we know what the fuck.
Yeah, that was in the 90s.
Fuck yeah. I think early or mid 90s, right?
Yeah, early to mid. Hey, Skin Showcase. What's up, brother? Gregg, former, I can't read that. Ronnie Coleman. Yes, we believe Ronnie Coleman is, we don't know. We know as much as.
Yeah, the family's kind of hush hush, so I don't know any inside shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Ronnie is a great guy. He's one of the rare guy. He'll talk to anybody.
Like really good man. With him. You know the real Ronnie. I only know him.
I know him very well.
He's always very gracious to me, and it's a lot of fun to be around. And we wish him the best. Obviously, hope he can recover from whatever this is.
He's a great guy. God bless him.
Back to where he was before that. Stufa, another buddy of mine from the UK. New York City midriff nutter has come out to play. Hey,
remember that?
Warriors with the
come out to play. I remember that.
The Rogues was the name of that gang. Chirub is our buddy from Malta. If you spend less than you earned, you are good. In the USA, people always overspend. I was raised, if you don't have the money, you do not spend. You only borrow money, buy a house. That's about it. Yes, living within your means, they call that.
Yes.
Obviously, when you buy a house, you got to take a mortgage. Nobody can afford a house, even when they weren't fucking crazy money. Cars, you pay off usually, leasing or buying. But if you got to buy all different type of crazy fucking appliances and you're paying crazy interest on a credit card, shame on you. You buy the cheaper refrigerator, pay for it outright, and have a refrigerator.
I think the worst is cars, though. Cars don't have any value. Once you buy a really expensive car, the minute you pull out a
I
lot,
started leasing now, Greg. I will never own a car the rest of my life.
it's horrible. They
Fucking
hammer you.
rent it from the dealer. That's how I look at it.
This state kills you. Kills you.
Yeah, but you know why? Because you can't get things fixed cheap anymore.
Never.
Everything is $1,000.
But the more I talk to my mechanic friend, the more you got, like, oh look, it's got a fucking TV set, it shows you backup and all that shit. Once one thing goes wrong, it throws off the sensors and everything else goes wrong. It's too
So you gotta
computerized.
have coverage. If you don't have, like, I got my car's a 3-year lease, right?
Right.
Anything goes wrong with a bumper to bumper, I bring it in, they fix it, and it doesn't cost me a dime.
Right. That's the only way to go, Joe.
So
Where are you gonna go?
I use my old mentality was buy the car, pay it off, keep it forever, take care of it, you know. But you can't do that with the newer cars.
Tell me about that. That's what I got outside. Fuck.
They're gone. You know, those old mechanics are gone. Corey,
No.
what's up, buddy? What's up, boys? Free my I can't say that. Diddy. You missed the beginning of the show. We were talking about it. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think fucking Diddy, they were just going for headlines, and I think if he did do anything with underage, that's different. But I think the majority of the charges were total horseshit, and they were looking for to fucking get a big
100%.
name. The fucking government is really fucking devious. They're fucked up. Stufa, will Trumpy Bear allow me to earn a green card if I join ICE? So you want to come to the country from the UK and get a green card to join ICE? I don't know. You might have to be a citizen to join ICE. It's kind of like being a librarian, but not knowing how to read.
I think they prefer Spanish-speaking people. But the other thing too is, though, you still have to go through a lot. You got to take tests and pass and go through all this bullshit and have a get big background check.
Agency. Yeah.
You get on the feds, you got to have a big background check.
Yeah. So, dude, one more question, Greg. Last week I was hitting biceps. I was on my foot set. It felt like I lost my pump. I'm 41 in on TRT. I usually hit about 8 sets. I'm getting back into working out what caused this. See, I'm reading the next comment. So he lost his pump after his 4th set, and he does 8 sets. So halfway through his workout, that is a little weird, right?
It depends. I mean, there's days where you get pumped for fucking picking your nose. As soon as you walk in the gym, it's just one of those days. And then there's other days you do the same exercise, kill yourself, and you just can't get a pump. It also matters, did you eat? Did you have sodium? Shit like that. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean. I mean, I don't know. I like to pump. I can keep a pump, but I also make sure that I have carbs in me. I eat food, even though I'm a diabetic. It doesn't matter. I could eat junk.
You eat right before you go.
Yeah, I have to. Me, I have to. Now, Arnold was different. Arnold, Arnold couldn't eat anything. There's 2 kinds of fucking trainers in this world. Okay, there's people what I'm talking about, like bodybuilders, even competitive top Mr. Olympic. There's some that a lot train fasted. Okay, I cannot do that. I will get nauseous, and I won't get a pump, and I'll actually feel like I can almost feel my body eating itself. That's if I fucking am fasted. That's me. If I could have a banquet meal, take a few fucking, energy pills or something, you know what I mean? And bro, I'll tear through that workout. I'll be twice as strong. A lot of people.
I'm the opposite. If I eat, I'll eat a banana. That's it. But if I eat like I used to try to eat like a big bowl of oatmeal with raisins, keep it clean and stuff. And I'd go to the gym, I felt sluggish. And then when I didn't do it, I felt great. I just had my pre-workout. So everybody's different. And it also depends on what time you go. I go early in the morning. You go at night.
I can't do early in the morning.
Fast all day. You have to eat, So it also depends on that. So, yeah, dude, did you spend any extra, time on detention, less time on detention with that? In between sets,
cut your rest periods too, man. If you're one of those guys that's on your phone, I'm only looking for songs. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? You should have to
Let me
really
put
set
a
up.
few bets on while I'm here. Oh, who's pitching tonight in Kansas
You know what?
City?
No, but I get that a lot. I get guys telling me, no, the only reason you see me, but I'm like looking for music. I'm going through my music. Bullshit. Most guys have that shit all set up. You almost have like a whole fucking lineup of shit that you listen to if that's what you're gonna do. If you're one of them guys that train, I don't know anybody can train with earphones on. No, not me.
Oh, I see. I do. I like it. I like.
See, but that's right. Everybody's different. That doesn't mean it's bad, guys. That just means everybody's different. Like Joe, you can train when you wake up in the morning fasted. No, that's the worst for me. I like night because I have a full day of food in me, and then I eat just before I go to the gym.
Right before you go. I remember the videos. You eating steak.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes I'll actually stop at a store. Like for instance, I did that Monday night because we were out and running around. And when I went to the gym, I'm like, I haven't eaten. I went to the gym at like midnight, but I hadn't eaten since like 8 o'clock, and I'm like, that's too long. Right, and I go through it. I keep shit in my gym bag too, like a Quest cookie or like a protein, like canned protein drink or something, just in case,
You need it. Yeah.
Right.
So, dude, it could have been like Gregg said. It could be a lot of things, and we're just throwing other things out there.
You have to find what's right for you. See how Joe and I are different. Look, Arnold Schwarzenegger had to have a totally empty stomach or he would barf. There's some people like that. Okay, it's the opposite for me.
Yeah.
If I had an empty stomach and I trained really hard, I would actually feel like I would get nauseous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably lightheaded too. It just all depends.
Everybody's different. Find what's right for you, the dude. And you know what? It depends on what you're eating too. Take a little carbs in before you eat, and something with sodium. Sodium, gives you a wicked pump. Go eat Chinese food and then work out. Watch what happens to you.
Yeah, I remember you in Colin Coker's book. He mentioned with you and him with the Chinese food.
Oh man, forget it. We eat Chinese food.
MSG, you get fucking
dude,
up.
you get fucking like this.
Yeah.
Vinny Comerford's the one that actually taught me that shit. Vinny, God rest his soul, Vince Comerford. Remember him?
Oh, Vince Comerford, sure. Yeah.
Well, his brother used to train in my gym, so he was always in New York. Dude, I took him to the vault. I took him to S&M club in New York City and shit. He disappeared for a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. I met my third boyfriend there, actually.
No, the vault is S&M, all S&M.
Oh, it's insane, bro. It's
crazy.
Yeah.
Guys walking around masturbating and mistresses it's a fucking nuts. And
it's
sometimes
nuts. It's everything goes. It's not gay. It's not straight. It's
anything. You don't know what the fuck. It's dark. And a lot of the mistresses down there are fat, ugly women that have like they're man haters. So when you become like their little fucking
big money. Yeah, they have stage shows in there and stuff.
Oh yeah, it was fucking crazy.
Yeah,
he loved it. God rest his soul. That was the 80s too, when it was really filthy.
I went there the first time in probably 91, 92. So it was, and then they moved it. It went from one location to another, right near each other.
Yes.
Or the west side and down the side street, or vice versa, one or the other. So I was at both of them. And,
sometimes they would call it Hellfire. Other times it's the Vault. It was the same owner, same club. He would, and his guy's name was Lenny. He was like a big biker guy.
Yeah.
But it was fucking. It was
nutty.
It was crazy in there.
So yeah, dude, it could be a lot of things, especially if you're on TFT, just get back into working out. I wouldn't fucking lose sleep over it.
No.
A little pump, lost a little something. You know what? Maybe a little do a shorter rest period. Gregg got me into doing short rest periods. I fucking feel pumped the whole time, man.
Yeah. Plus, if you don't get it in your head, like, oh, the third set's the last set, and it doesn't matter if you get a pump or not. Sometimes you get no pump, and the next day you're so sore it's not funny. Other times you get a wicked pump, and the next day you're like, dude, yesterday I thought I had a great workout. I don't feel like.
You feel like nothing. Yep. Charlie Arms, here he is.
Okay, here we go. Who do you knock out now?
Right.
Geraldo Rivera.
Remember the time. Remember the time I knocked out Geraldo Rivera for wasting 4 hours of my time to see what was Al Capone's safe. Yes, a big live special on network TV. I think it was it Channel 4 or 7?
And there was nothing in there.
Wasn't there like an empty wine bottle in there?
Might have been something like that, or an old fucking piece of paper. And shit was like,
listen, everybody kills Geraldo Rivera. Who wouldn't have wanted to see what was in there? Right? We all watched it.
I think Geraldo Rivera changed, kind of like Howard Stern. When in the 80s and 90s, he was a badass. And now he's like fucking a woke pussy. You know what I mean? I said
Yeah.
that's what happened.
He
I
was
mean,
forgetting his faces back then. He was.
oh yeah.
He was a pretty cool dude. Yeah.
You ever see the one where he went in a crack den and the dudes are shooting up heroin?
Yeah.
And the fucking he's talking to the guy and the guy takes the fucking like the needle and was gonna try to stab him when he goes, "You motherfucker, I'll fucking kill you!" Like like he got mad. He was like gonna fuck the guy up and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'll fucking kill you, bro. Don't fucking stick that needle near me, motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was,
on his TV show when he was.
oh,
Was broken.
the chair, the head of the.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, the fucking and the neo-Nazi, the head of the neo, and he fucking threw the chair, broke his nose and shit.
Broke his nose. So people give Geraldo a hard time for that. I would have been doing the same exact thing he did. I would have pumped that thing up, thinking it was going to be a great thing. And you know what? Unless there was like bodies in there or anything like really wild, more people remember it because it was a dud.
Yes,
it was a couple of little things. Oh, they found some money and some, you know, maybe some fucking clothes. What was? I always thought there was going to be maybe fucking like evidence of murders in there or something, guns,
or just like jewelry or something that he was trying to stash, you know.
Right,
but,
yeah.
You know, speaking of Geraldo, one more thing. I don't know if you remember this joke, but the best was when he had a fight with fucking Frank Stallone, Sylvester Stallone's brother. They got in a ring and they had a boxing match, and Howard Stern promoted that shit. That's what he was trying to do when he had me with Mark Wahlberg. But the fucking thing is, that was fucking funny because, you know, Geraldo Rivera used to box. They said he did, but Stallone's brother went in and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, no, Frank Stallone's in good shape. I mean, especially back then, he's still in good shape.
You remember?
He's a singer too.
Who was it that Greg Brady fought?
Danny Bonaducci, right?
Bonaducci's
a juice monkey. He uses juice. He admits it. He loves it.
Yeah.
But he uses coke too. He does everything.
And he fucks tranny hookers.
He's admitted to that many times. Yes. And got college. He got college for doing it.
He's crazy though. That fucking guy's nuts. But you know what's funny? He's getting a lot of fights. He get locked up a lot and shit. He was a nut. Guy.
He's the kind of guy, if you went out in the town drinking, you would be with him, you'd be fucking laughing your balls off for years over it.
And he'd probably be paying for everything, too.
Yeah, he'd be fucked. Hoog, I saw a barber today. Guess its name. The actual name of the barber, not the slogan, but the actual name. The environmentally friendly barber, I guess in contrast to the usual barber who uses gasoline for the hair clippers.
Environmentally friendly barber. Is that a
environmentally friendly barber? How?
Is that what's her name? How dare you? How dare you take my childhood away? Is she a barber now?
Oh my God, who got that? I feel so. Your country has become so fucking pussified. It's
God.
God. Did they give a good haircut at least though?
No wonder why you watch this show. We're giving you a good shot of testosterone from me and Joe right here. All you guys.
Largest lynching, Sunday Sammy Day, American history. We started a group of Italians down in New Orleans. Where's our reparations? Yes, he is correct.
Yes.
11 Sicilians in New Orleans, the largest lynching in this country's history of one time of people being lynched, not total over years, of one incident. It was Sicilians. New Orleans was one of the first places that was really mafia formed, not Brooklyn, or Bronx. New Orleans had a lot of Sicilians that went there originally, and they kind of formed what would end up starting to become sort of like the mafia once they came up in the 5 Points, and Giuseppe Morello was one of the first mafia guys in New York.
In the 5 Points, man. But you know what's funny?
5 Points gang.
Well, Sicilians are kind of black, so you know what I mean?
But seriously, what happened was a police chief or something, a police captain or chief in this department in New Orleans, and they had like these small things back then, I guess, like sheriff's offices and whatever. He got shot and killed, and they never proved it, but they believed that because these Sicilians, like I said, they were starting to run numbers and do mob things so they just locked them up. And the people in the town broke into the jail and pulled them out and fucking hung all of them. They don't even know if they were guilty or not.
Is that why they say Sicilians are pretty well hung? But
Yeah, they are down in New Orleans, especially. That was like
1800s, I think, wasn't it?
1890 something. But yes,
1800, late
Nick,
1800s.
you are 100% right. Yep.
Yes. Yep.
Paul
He's right.
Walker, can you guys talk and jive? Now, there's another old man fucking reference that I think you're going to get because you mentioned this movie not too
Jive.
long ago.
What movie?
What's that from? No, actually, no, it's a different movie. But you had mentioned the Kentucky Fried movie. I got it
Yes.
mixed up.
Remember
That was from Airplane.
Oh.
Excuse me, ma'am. I can help. I speak jive. Remember when the two black
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
were in the
yeah. Jive.
talking to them?
But that's questions from the 60s, though. Because they remember, like, they used to talk like that. You talking jive,
Superfly shit.
motherfucker. Jive
Yeah.
was basically like
Slang.
ghetto
Slang.
talk.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But that scene with the old white lady, I actually read something on Twitter about it. They said a lot of that was ad-libbed. Like she only took a few minutes like to prep for that. And that
shit.
was hysterical.
That was great. You
Yo,
know,
mama.
that reminds me of like Jasmine Crockett. That's jive talking. What you got there to crack your ass?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
she's just
motherfucker
garbage.
with a chicken grit. You know what I mean? Like that's jive talking.
Yeah, she's a pile of fucking shit, that one.
She is.
Yeah. Roger Babbitt, there he is, back for more. Hello, friends. My family is making a documentary about my sister called Who Framed Ashley Babbitt. Greg, do you think you can get to your friend to sit down and be in the film? Maybe Joe, too. Get your friend to sit down. Which friend is referring?
I don't know which friend he's talking about, but that's maybe my friend from the Secret Service. I don't know who he's talking about.
I don't know. But I'll wear my Make America Swole Again hat.
There you go.
Actually, I'll be in it. I'd be honored.
Listen, let me tell you, that poor girl Ashley Babbitt that shit's bullshit. That guy got away with everything. He ran right up to her and fucking shot her. She didn't have no gun. He knew it. That fucking piece of shit cop got away with that.
They made him out to be a victimized hero.
Pam Bondi should go after him right now.
He was crying at all of those cops that were at that fucking hearing were cunts. Fuck them, all of them, especially that fucking guy. You're up. Poor Big Lenny, no one knows what happened to his remains. So sad. I don't know anything about that. I think they didn't go to Chapel of Peace Cremation. That's the problem.
There you go.
Johnny take care of it.
Yes,
Linda,
West Coast Johnny would have took care of him really well.
Oh, he would have been. We would have forget about it. Moratorium should have been advertising with bodybuilding magazines forever. Would have wasted, but that is fucking great. We have a fucking cremation thing. And then was it you, Linda McCanns, who said it? Somebody said, "Wow, what a coincidence! A fucking funeral thing on a bodybuilding show." And I never thought of it in that way, but yeah, it actually, it makes kind of sense.
We're breaking new ground over here, Joe.
Look at the fucking corner of the market. All the big coffins we're gonna have, the big cremation, the bigger crematoriums. Chris with 2S Miller. Pretty sure Big Lenny was an organ donor and saved multiple lives with his body.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I think I'm an organ donor. Greg's got
I donate my organ every night to my girlfriend.
everything to my girlfriend. Greg's a bestseller. Don't listen to him. He did make one of the lists of the New York Times. Right?
Yeah, it did good. The book did good. The problem is we don't get it. We had an agent that fucking shops, and it got a terrible contract.
Yeah, but Megan she's driving fucking Maseratis over here. this fucking broad. Jim K. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Serious question for Greg. How could you look at your girlfriend and dump in your pants at the same time?
Well, I wasn't really looking at her. I was kind of looking away when I did it. Shit, fuck.
It had nothing to do with her. He shits his pants. I had a close call at the gym the other day, bro. I made it by a millisecond. I thought I was going to make it home, and I did the duck walk from my locker.
That's fucking great.
Oh, it was bad. I mean, I was like, oof. Good thing.
Then when you finally get in there, it's like the greatest relief in the world. You're like, what I mean?
Loaded. I did the courtesy flush. I did the right thing for the boys. Yeah, so he had nothing to do with her. There's Annie Barker. Hello, my boys. Thank you so much for the condolences last week on your cat. Yes, and made me tear up. And yes, Greg, she was an old pussy. Remember that made me smile. Sending you two. Annie, get another one. Get a kid. Get a new one. It's not a replacement. It's just you love it. If you love animals, you're gonna love the next animal.
Yeah, or get a dog.
The dogs are great.
I love
We'll
dogs.
go upstairs after the
I'm not a
show.
cat guy, but dogs definitely.
Stufa, did you ever write for Men's Fitness magazine in the UK directly, or did the US edition just let them copy and paste your column?
No, I never. I was in Men's Fitness as an interview. They've interviewed me, and I was like, you know.
Okay.
But I didn't write articles. I wrote articles for Muscular Development. You know what I mean? And obviously here, Muscle Sport Mag. I've done a few little things that have been in other magazines, but I never wrote an article for Men's Fitness. But they did a whole feature on me. I got pictures of that shit on my wall with you know
that's
what
cool.
I mean?
Men's Fitness is,
Where they did the Popeye and all that bullshit.
Oh, that was Men's Fitness?
Yeah, I think it was Men's Fitness.
Oh,
Yeah, I have it on the wall.
I see. Yeah, I've been in your room in your house and I saw it. I that layout was fucking awesome. Joe, who was your original motivation to start getting jacked? Same for you, Greg. Pussy.
Oh wow.
Chicks.
You know what it was? When I was a kid, I was built already before I ever worked out. Right? I was very muscular, and I used to do like little isometric shit, gymnastics, all that shit, right? And I remember like kids in school would say shit to me. You know, I was like 12, 13. And then, you know, just starting to, you know, get into weights a little bit, but mostly, you know, athletic shit. And there was a kid, I don't know if it was a Maypole box or whatever, a cereal box. He was about my age. And it had the arm, and it almost looked almost like Arm and Hammer. And I think it was Maypole. You know, I want my Maypole.
I remember Maypole was like, like an oatmeal kind of.
Right. And the kids were like, dude, I don't know, man, your arm is as big as his? And I was like, oh, fuck that shit. Like, I wanted to be bigger than that kid, which is crazy. But, you know, I also.
How old were you?
I met a kid in school, in my high school, that was already working. I was a year ahead of me in high school, 2 years ahead of me. And he had a gym. And he's the one who brought me down to the White Plains YMCA, you know, because I was 15 years old. I couldn't drive. He was already 17. And we'd go down there and work out. And he kind of like, I saw my first bodybuilding magazine with him. And he's the one who kind of really got me into it a little bit.
But truthfully, my thing was watching Pumping Iron on Channel 13, PBS. Oh. Remember it was on TV?
I saw it in the movie theater.
I don't know what year it was on in TV. It was in 77 it came out. I think in 79 it went on TV. And Arnold, and more importantly than Arnold, was Lou Ferrigno, because he was a guinea from Brooklyn like us. So we were like, wow, Lou Ferrigno. And then that was before the Hulk and all of that shit. And one of my friends, you know, because of the movie, he asked his mother to buy him the 110-pound weight set, the plastic and cement ones with the little bench and the little thing.
I still have it.
I have some of the weights inside. My father-in-law had some, and I kept them when they were cleaning out the old house. And we started working out at 79. I was 12, you know. So, and then we started looking at Muscle and Fitness, which was kind of like the bodybuilding magazine at the time. That was like before Flex came out in, I think, 82. So Muscle and Fitness was Muscle Power Builder. That was his bodybuilding book. So we used to read that and work out on these and then I got my own 110-pound weight set. So yeah, really it was Pumping Iron, you know.
I would say it's the same type of thing with me, but the kid actually inspired. I didn't want anybody to be bigger than me. You know what I mean?
That's cool with the Maypole though.
It's like it's the stupidest fucking thing, but it's a true story. The thing is too, I started with plastic weights, and it's funny because you say Ferrigno, because I like Ferrigno and Colombo. And meanwhile, in person now, they're the two biggest pricks, you know, that I've ever met, you know, in bodybuilding.
And Colombo is a fucking,
Right. But I like them because they were Italian American. You know, I growing up.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We were like, he was short.
He's from Brooklyn, you know? Yeah. I mean, it was a little far from our neighborhood per se, because we didn't have cars then, you know? Probably about a 20-minute walk, if we wanted to walk to where he lived. From where we lived, if we ever wanted to go.
I used to go to his place. That's where I met his father. His father used to give me shit for free. I used to go to,
they had the gym on McDonald Avenue.
McDonald Avenue and Avenue U, I think it was.
Up by that, yeah, because that's where where R&J was up that way.
Right, R&J Studio. Jules and Rob and Jules Levine. I think it's Rob and Jules Levine, R&J Studio.
R&J, yeah.
Yeah, it was a small gym. It was very small.
Yeah. It was just a little like a fucking.
But I used to go to McDonald Avenue and Avenue U.
That's
I
what
think
he
it
opened
was.
real after he got the Hulk and all of that.
Right.
And then he opened a small weight store selling shit right on Bay Parkway, like 3
But
blocks
that
from
was
there.
his family, and that's what caused
Yeah.
all the problem.
Brother Andy was in there all the time.
Right, his brother Andy, who I know, and is the one who came to me and told me all about this shit when I put
Yes.
it in the magazine. It caused all that hoopla. I hooked Andy up with because I was also in a National Choir like 5 times and shit.
Wasn't that with the
I
Michael
hooked him up
Jackson
with them.
shit?
What's that?
The Michael Jackson stuff where Lou was training him for the tour or something, and then Michael Jackson died, and there was like rumors he had him on juice or something.
No, I don't. I never heard
Why
any
they
of
tried
that.
to do that? Not saying you said that. I'm saying they said.
No,
that.
I never heard any of that shit. That
Oh,
I never
okay.
heard. But I
thought
do know that his father, it's when his father passed away.
Yeah.
You got to watch saying, he's sues. He's a sue happy person. But the thing is, I used to see his father, and then he fucking sued the family, the estate because they used the Ferrigno name, and everybody. When you went to that place on McDonald Avenue and Avenue U and all the other store that they own, everybody thought, well, that's Lou Ferrigno owns that, but he didn't. It was his family that owns it. His brother and his father ran it, and the brother came to me, Andy. But that's water under the bridge. So Lou, if you're watching this, don't sue me.
Don't sue. Yeah.
I got to if you go out, if you saw the car I drive in, you'd be like, I better donate.
Son of Sammy, I know Gregg hates music, Jim, but I love to train with educational or informational podcasts. I feel like I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
There you go.
You know
Got it, boy.
That's pretty good. I know you like to listen to like WFAN.
Yes, sports. I can listen to sports talk. I loved fucking WFAN. It used to like Mike and the Mad Dog, but obviously that ended a long time ago. I used to like the Michael K show at 3:00. Listening to them talk with Don LaGreca, and he would always lose his temper because he was a big Met fan, and Michael being a Yankee, announcer. It was funny.
Yeah, I actually, when I do cardio, I break it up half music, half I do an Italian lesson. I listen to Italian language lessons. So I'm kind of doing like what you do.
Shit.
Like, I downloaded a whole bunch of Italian like podcast things, basic phrases, and I listen to them over and over and over and over. I can almost quote them. Like I know what's coming up next.
That's good.
But that's how you learn. Craig Velasquez. What up, Craig? Looking at the pictures, I don't think Arnold should have dethroned Sergio Oliva that year. I agree. Was that a marketing thing? Basically a race thing.
No, it wasn't a race.
I'll kick it to you and give you. I agree. I think Sergio has the greatest physique of all time and should have won multiple, as many as he entered Olympias. But he only won 1, right? And he was unopposed, if I'm not mistaken, in '69. Or no, he won 2. Then he won in '70, and Arnold finished second. And then in '71, Arnold won. Am I correct?
No, I think it was '70s when Arnold started to win. I think he won from 70, 71, 72, 73, 74. Then '75, he won his 6th, right? Was he 6 time or 7? Wasn't he 7
7?
times?
So it was 6 in a
So
row.
then he won again in '80. Right.
Yeah. So Sergio Oliva, I always my favorite physique of all time. I'll never waver from that, and I don't think Arnold even sneeze on him. Why did they do it? I think it was more of a marketing thing.
It was a little bit of that.
Sergio was a fucking mean fucking guy. He wasn't like a guy you could be the face of a franchise kind of thing.
Corona.
And Arnold was very bubbly and. People took to him a little better.
Well, Arnold was more charismatic, and that showed on stage. I got to be honest with you, I've seen Sergio compete in person, and he poses like Paul Dillette was like that. Paul Dillette had great genetics, but just went up like this. Even Mike Matarazzo, Mike Matarazzo would get the crowd just to double bicep and stick the tongue out. But the thing is, those guys can't pose. They pose kind of funny and like awkward. And Arnold would just come out there and smile like, yeah, come on, man. I look good, don't I? And it was a combination of things. I think it was that. Sergio would wear dark shit and had a dark background, so he kind of blended a little bit more, where Arnold would pop out a little bit. There was a lot of things. I don't think it was racist, but also Arnold was marketable. Sergio was not. First of all, Sergio couldn't speak good English and talk like this, And back then, and Arnold was this like good-looking, young. Like, look at me. I mean, he went on to Hollywood. because he felt he was a 5-tool player, like as we say in baseball. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the. So I think it was a smart decision. You know, I mean.
Yeah, and we all know that it's objectional. You know,
Yeah.
You know, people look. You can look at Sergio and say, "I like his physique. I like Arnold."
Well, Arnold once said the greatest genetic freak he ever saw in his life. This is Arnold with Sergio.
Yeah,
Remember, Sergio was an Olympic lifter first.
Yeah, when they worked out together, and that was that famous thing where Arnold kind of like manipulated him a little. They did the pose down, and he let him walk off, thinking it was coming. And then he stayed on stage. Remember, there was a little, you know, mind game.
Actually, after that, he said, "Okay, let's go." You know, and Sergio
And he stayed after Sergio
he didn't have
walked
stage
off.
presence, and that matters. You can trick the crowd into thinking like that guy's so confident. Plus, Sergio posed like this. He would shake sometimes when he would do like most musculars. I saw it in person, and Arnold was just like, "Look at this, huh? Yeah, good, right? Looking beautiful."
Yeah.
And
it's a totally different presentation.
He talked to the media, and they, you know, the media just loved him. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. I mean,
listen, I think Sergio is a better bodybuilder, but Arnold was a better celebrity.
Well, Sergio started out like doing powerlifting, Olympic lifting. The thing what people don't realize is, dude, that guy had legs when nobody had legs. That guy had a fucking like 28-inch, 29-inch waist with fucking with the same mass that these guys today have. His arms were humongous. I seen him in person. His chest, his back was so wide. He had a V taper that was unbelievable. V taper, bro, unbelievable.
Because those early Olympians with like Larry Scott and stuff, those guys were smooth looking. They weren't, like you said, the legs weren't really big. It was a difference, just like Dorian Yates was different than Lee Haney. You know, it changed. And Sergio was a bigger body than Arnold was big and tall. And then when he got, you know.
But he was such a power lifter that he didn't have the separation like Arnold did either. Like he was mass. He was like big ham arms. His legs were huge, but they were hammy. And the thing is, if he could have, I mean, you know, these guys were just taking D-ball, prima ball, and shit like that. You know, they weren't, imagine the shit that's today. You guys are jerking off to Trent and all this, you know, and IGF and insulin and fucking growth hormone and all. None of that shit was around back then.
D-ball. That's what pretty much, some of them just did D-ball.
D-ball, prima ball was the big one, too. Yeah. You know, Arnold was a prima ball for that. But I'm just saying, you know, the drugs, even equipment. You know how many guys used to do legs with that fucking iron shoe with the fucking dumbbell?
Oh, yeah,
hold on to a pole and shit and kick your leg out like this to do leg extension. You know.
Oh, the ads for that fucking, it was like the Jesus sandals, like you're
right. That's what it looked like. Sandals with a fucking whole thing. You
put the weight. Oh, shit.
You hold on to a pole. You hold on to a pole and you kick your leg out and sideways. I'm just saying. This guy was in an era where equipment was weak. He didn't have like Nautilus equipment, or even Universal equipment. He had a lot of homemade shit.
Full-time Chicago cop.
That's another thing. Full-time Chicago police officer. He worked a full-time. Arnold used to lay on the beach like this, you know what I mean? You know, it's a different animal. But yet that guy had that kind of, can you imagine? It's almost like saying Babe Ruth, you know, Babe Ruth didn't even take baseball serious. It was a fun game to him. He would eat hot dogs, drink beer, smoke cigars and cigarettes in the dugout. Dude, I just watched a video of Dave Parker. Remember Dave Parker from the fucking Pirates? The other day. Right, they were showing shit of me. He's sitting there smoking on the dugout. Dick Allen, Richie Allen, Dick Allen was a chain smoker. Was sitting in the dugout like this with a cigarette in his mouth. Babe Ruth used to smoke, drink, eat hot dogs. Imagine today what he would do today. Can you have any idea what the way bats are today and fucking balls? Back then, everything was handmade. Bats were made out of some tree they found in the woods and whittled it. Today, they grow to special, put hardeners on that shit.
And they got pitchers that shouldn't even be in AAA that are starting in the majors in some games.
Joe, but even
back then, there was 8 fucking teams in each league, and they've had fucking 3 or 4 starters, and those all guys were lights out.
They would pitch double headers and shit. But they would have dude, back then, they weren't no working out. You remember they had that big belt that would shake your fat like that?
Babe Ruth, like, you see the video with Ruth doing that belt?
Yeah, or they take the medicine ball and they throw you the medicine ball.
He's doing a medicine ball in spring training,
Right. That's it. And you know what's
Oh,
funny?
great,
He used to not show up. I've seen Babe Ruth videos of him with a cigar in his mouth, fucking up at bat. You know what I mean? Not during a game, but I'm talking about doing exhibitions where he has a cigar in his mouth, and there's all people standing around, photographers, right around, and he's standing there. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Imagine that guy watching videos. Every time these guys strike out or hit a home run, the next thing you know, you see them. You know, they're looking at the fucking video. They're sitting there like watching it on an iPad. And shit.
Every little slow motion.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, imagine he would hit.
Otani's just as good, right, Greg?
Oh yeah. Listen, these guys are pampered. Okay, you know, dude. What people don't realize is Babe Ruth hit a home run. His slugging percentage is 1 out of every 9 at bats. Hank Aaron had 4,000 more at bats than he did. You can't compare anybody to that guy. He was
in that era when nobody hit homers. Nobody.
Yeah, home run Baker. 8 home runs before he.
Yeah,
8 home runs. Home run Baker. Ty Cobb hated Babe Ruth. He used to say all the time, "That's not the way the game's supposed to be played." Yes. They played to get a base hit, smack the ball to left field, smack the ball to right field. And it was funny. It was home runs were so rare that when you hit a home run, they used to take the ball and throw it back so you can reuse it again.
Use it, yeah.
So you guys cannot compare. You cannot compare Babe Ruth. I don't want to hear, well, there was no black or Hispanic, but that has nothing to do with anything. That fucking
played
ball
against them in a lot of those all-star barnstorming games, and for the most part, the black players beat the white players in those games.
Right.
But Babe statistics in them, and I know you can't. Sometimes these statistics they weren't kept regularly. You can only go by what's there. He hit, I think, 400 or something in those games. So he did play against some of those guys in exhibition games.
But at the end, because it was the black leagues were like the late 20s, early 30s, 40s and shit. And that's when, it wasn't, I mean, he was
older playing in those.
Yeah, you can't compare. You cannot compare. There's no comparison to Babe Ruth. The guy today every ball is machine weighed, machine made, tightened. They used to be hand sewn back then.
They would fix it in the dugout and put it back in.
Yeah, you know how many times the cover got knocked off a ball and shit? Yes. And it's not, bro, that guy hit home runs at will. I mean, if he played today, he'd have 150 home runs a year. It'd be unbelievable. He'd be paid, he would be the first $1 billion player. There's nobody like that guy. Do you know that he missed the whole year? He ran in the stands. He ran in the stands after a fan. He was crazy. Do you know that he was there was a famous story where he was at a party once and he met a guy, and him and the guy were talking, and he said to the guy, "So what do you do for a living?" And the guy said, "What do you mean? I'm on your team. I'm a pitcher in the bullpen. I've been on the team for 5 years." He was just like fucking, he didn't even know, I always tell you the story where he was in the fucking, where he was in the fucking dugout and he told the ball boy or the bat boy, get me a couple hot dogs and a beer. And one of them hated him. I don't remember. It was Miller Huggins or what that was, McCarthy. One of those two hated him. And they said that it was the one that hated him was the one in the dugout. I told the bat boy, "You fucking go do that and you're fired. I'll have you fired right now." And Babe Ruth said to the kid, "Hey, you listen to me. You don't listen to him. Fuck you. You won't get fired. If you don't listen to me, you'll get fired. Go get me the fucking hot dogs. Get me a bunch of hot dogs and a beer." And the kid ran in and got the beers and hot dog, and he fucking kid never got fired because Babe Ruth, that was his team.
He had more power than John McCarthy did.
Listen, same thing with Otani. Don't you think? Let me tell you something. If Otani was white and wasn't, a good player, all the shit that illegal gambling that motherfucker did, you don't think that guy, he didn't know? The guy was handling his money. He was giving it. Oh my God! You don't think that he was totally involved?
I don't even care about that. To me,
I don't either. But
nonsense. Yeah, it's like fucking stupid that they're going crazy with it.
It was almost like it was. The only Wayne Gretzky was like that. When you saw Wayne Gretzky when he first came up to it, he was like a man playing with children on a fucking ice. He could just score at will. Go watch this. Just scored. You know what I mean? Here, let me get an assist. Here, take this. You'd score. It was just it's like disgusting.
Yeah. That's the talent level is. Man, I'm not going to read this. You can read it if you want. I don't want to. I'm not here to trash other shows. I didn't watch the show yesterday, so I'm just gonna leave that alone.
No, Dave, listen, Guy. Dave's
yeah.
a good guy. We don't, look, it's not that. It's that the divorce has nothing to do with any of
And
this.
especially it has
There's psychoticness over there with that other shit. But listen,
private life has no.
we all get along. There's nothing, there's nothing. We argue, we disagree on certain things, but we all get along. Dave's a great guy.
Right. It's too hot out. I'm heading home. Be outside your car tomorrow. Has Lee popped in?
That's great, Tito.
Lee Priest. I haven't seen him. My grandpapa always told me us Italians are the blacks of Europe. Yes. There's a lot of people that make jokes about that. Yeah.
Because the Moors, the whole thing with the Moors from Africa kind of took, like 1,000 years.
And that's all about too. The fucking. Let me tell you. And what's his name? Who's the guy with the elephants? The Roman fought the Romans.
The elephant.
He was a Trustian. He wasn't even fucking. He wasn't even African.
Shaka Zulu. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't want to get into it. But yes, that's your grandfather is right. That a lot of people say that as a joke, and
because the Africans did take over like those little islands of Italy. I don't think they made it to Italy, but the islands of Italy. You know what I mean?
But those were people that were also from different empires. Not even though they were some of them were located in the North African part.
Yeah, well, people don't. Kentucky Fried Movie. He's right.
Kentucky Fried Movie. Yes, big tit shower.
It's the shower scene.
High school girls in trouble. Coming.
I always use that expression today, but
but that's what it was, a movie premiere with the tits getting squished. When we were kids watching that in the movie, it was almost like you were getting laid. It was so hot.
I remember a movie called Beneath the Valley of the Ultra Vixens. Do you remember that? The Kitty Navadon and all these fucking candy samples. They had these giant tits.
Samples. Oh, that's a fucking name from the past.
Dude, she's probably 100 years old if she's not dead.
Yeah. Greg is an expert
Todd.
and black slang. Todd Morrissey with
Todd, how you doing,
amazing.
Man?
That Todd, I'm telling him, but that is from Can I Play with Madness single from Iron Maiden. That little thing with Eddie over there. Excellent job, Todd. I'm an Iron
Great
Maiden
job, Todd.
Way back.
I hope you're well.
Starting with the Killers album in '81. Greg's friend Charlie Gasparino. What about it?
What about him?
Big Lenny's remains were snorted by one of his favorite trannies. What's up? There's Egregious. What's up, Egregious?
What's up?
Big Lenny donated his giant back. Now there's some skinny freak walking around with a huge freaky back. He should have donated the Tom Platz of abs. I take dumps in my pants strictly to spite my girlfriend at any public classy event. You really do that? If you're wearing like a nice suit, you're at a wedding and all that?
Oof.
Come on,
Oofa.
Joe is more handsome than Gregg, in my opinion, but Gregg has more redeeming qualities. Arlene, you're a see, she complimented both of us.
There you go. Nice compliment. Thank you. But
Thank you. Yes.
I'm an ugly motherfucker, I admit it. Great.
Gregg needs to stop complaining about our book deal. Stop complaining about how Pro Sups stole his Jekyll and Hyde pre-workout.
Well, yeah. Is that the name of the company that did it? Jekyll and Hyde.
Gave me a lot of them, and I did not waste them. They were
a long time. That was a long time ago. My God.
You still got that thing?
Yeah, I got the Jekyll and Hyde came from us, and my two partners had a fight, and then they left it open. They even took the same fonts, the same everything. They used everything that we had. And they're in GNC, and we're sitting with our dicks in our hand.
I'm actually going to get a dog this time. Just got to figure out what breed to get. I will say that my black lab, I've had 4 dogs. The black lab there is no favorites. They're all fucking my favorite. But he was the one that we remember most. He was so gentle with the kids when they were babies. We had him before the kids. He was here first. So he was such a good dog. So or any Labrador.
We had a Labradoodle. Wait, what do you mean had? We still have a Labradoodle.
We still got the dog, yeah.
And he's black Labradoodle.
Labradoodle, lab and a doodle. But labs are fucking phenomenal. Joe, ask Gregg about the time I knocked out Ed McMahon for trying to train for free. I told him to sit your ass back down on the couch. Speaking of Johnson before.
Ed McMahon. He's an old soul. This Charlie Arms is definitely an old soul.
Yep.
Ed McMahon.
Candace, you guys lose me during the bodybuilding talk, but at least you're funny. Thank you, Candace.
Thank you,
lose
Candace.
myself during bodybuilder talk. It's not very exciting, but you know, sometimes we talk about. But we do talk about anal sex, which I know you're a big fan of, Candace. Sergio didn't have cuts like Arnold. I don't know. I think Sergio had some details going on. I don't think
Back in those eras, but it wasn't that. It was more the charisma.
Back then. It
Arnold
wasn't
was tall. He kind of like, you know, he had that whole thing going on. He just had the charisma and shit.
Yeah. But Sergio is fucking ridiculous.
Arnold posed. He was great. Sergio didn't pose good. I told you, I saw him in person. It was weird. It was
that must have been fucking wild to see him at that time in his prime. I only saw him when he was like old and he was very, very mean. But he did interview. He did do an interview with me, but he only answered like 3 questions. Said no more. That's it.
He was nasty.
He was nasty, and I was pissed, and I said, "Okay, that's good enough for me." You know.
He was definitely nasty.
I treated him with the respect that he deserved. You know. Alex Kelly, if Magic Johnson has a cure for AIDS and the gay guys passed away, are you two telling me that if Lyle Alzado was in the NBA right now, he would be okay? I don't know.
Why?
We were talking about that last year.
No, but you're talking about Magic Johnson got it in the 90s. If Alzado really had it, which is the rumor, that was the 80s.
Yeah, so he.
All right, in the 80s, you were dead. You got that shit and you were dead in no time.
Yeah, he was like a skeleton by that time. There he is.
Oh shit!
There is the man.
Here's my guy.
Is bad like The View. Funny thing is, people still watch The View. Oh,
but
boy.
nobody watches. That's my guy, Lee. He's the best. Fucking the best, one of the best bodybuilders ever. That's my guy.
Yes, Sergio-esque, I will say. You should be a guest on it. Imagine Lee on The
Oh my
View.
God, Lee
They fucking heart attack those
Listen,
fucking.
I have no filter, but Lee has a no filter on a no filter. And Lee would sit there and start throwing N bombs and fucking F bombs and calling him fat and shit. And before you know it,
fat cunt.
he would have them fucking. They would really friggin' bug out.
Craig doesn't like Lee. I'm sorry,
Why?
Craig. Lee,
I think
everybody's
that's
welcome on the. I don't block anybody. Everybody's welcome on the show. Lee, you are an admitted racist. Go away. We got a good thing going.
He is not an admitted racist. Listen, Lee has fucked black chicks and Spanish chicks, and has been with. He's got, dude. He was with Adela Garcia.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
He was with Adela Garcia. I know he's fucked black chicks. You know, get out of here. You know, that's.
He
not
jokes around.
He's not racist. He plays around.
He's a lot of fun. I think you're talking about Hannibal. Yes, the elephant guy. Yes, there's a whole thing. He was
Hannibal the Cannibal.
Etruscan or something. I forget. But Sicilians are basically half. We'll leave that as it is, and not. I'm not touching that. Juggernauts. Good afternoon. When will we be getting a new workout video?
I don't know. Soon. I just got to get motivated.
He's got a lot of shows he's doing. My father would be so upset if I did. I had a black lab. Oh, goodness gracious. Craig is getting fucking sorry. We're having fun. This is all in good fun. It's ribs. Yes. This is all ribbing. Great show, guys. I got to head out. I'll comment more next time. I've got my baby niece running around. I hope she's not listening. I hope you got a headphones.
Good, Corey. Good for you. Take care of the baby.
Thank you, Corey. Have a good 4th of July, buddy. Yes, I'm racist. I'm in a Klan meeting right now. That's a Klan in Australia.
See, when you say shit like that to Lee, he's going to open up a can of worms. He's going to make it worse. So you're pissing up a stick, bro.
Corey, that's what. See, Corey gets the joke with Candace, and Corey's a black guy. He's laughing.
That's funny.
Come on, guy. We fucking laugh. The show is to have fun. Jesus, those crosses are heavy to set up and burn. I can't tell what. Oh God. Oh, I don't blame you. Corey talking about Candace there again. Lee, you're not supposed to crucify them. The crosses are just supposed to be left as the crosses.
No, on fire is what he
Kerosene, yeah, but saying they can't burn them. Kerosene and sheets. See what I mean, guys? Once Lee shows up, the show goes to shit. Bye. I'm sorry, Craig. Well, you enjoy your 4th of July. Thank you for watching.
Switch, Craig. Now you can switch to your other profile.
No, Craig's he's
legit?
a guy who watches it. Yes, he just he doesn't like Lee Priest, and he's
What's
right.
how do you not like Lee Priest?
One for the border. I don't know. To me, if Lee was giving Italian jokes out, I'd be laughing the loudest.
Oh God!
Everybody just
Lee's funny. Run for
just
the border.
laugh about it. Craig, he's fucking around with you, bro.
Yeah, Craig. He's only playing.
If you can't watch because you don't want.
I know Lee personally. He's a good guy. He's a great guy, and he's not.
I hope you
He's
come
playing
back.
around. He's playing around.
Yeah, he's checking.
Open your mouth. He put his thing in your mouth in Spakin.
Lee was here. It's a joke. A little Sopranos reference there. Yeah, you think so? I was here. It's Vito, what the fuck? When they caught him at the gay bar.
Or you should fucking play. Remember that? Oh my God.
Oh, that was great. Oh, Uncle Philly, my ass. Greg really has to go do some gardening and clean a few pools. Oh, Jesus Christ.
What's there you
Breaking walls, like you said.
see, Craig, you fucking you poked the dog and he's gonna start biting back now.
But Greg, it's almost 5 o'clock. We did it again. We said we're gonna only do an hour or so.
And we did too.
But we did 2 hours. So I am going to unfortunately I could do this for 12.
Yeah, you know what happens? Time flies.
It does fly and you guys also make us fucking laugh, and you guys are part of the show, obviously. Grace Jones can cure everything besides AIDS. Longer shows.
That's true.
I know they are, but you know what? I don't want to. I think sometimes people are like, it's too long.
Actually, most people say that, if you're like you are part of this, so you're on here a lot. But most people say the shorter is better. The Joe Zapata's like huge with that shit. Sometimes
I agree with him.
We're just getting going, and he'll be like, nope, we gotta,
we get thrown on track. And then for the replays, if somebody sees, 1 hour, 58 minutes, they may not click on it because they're like, I don't have
100%. 100%.
But guys, that's going to do it for us this week on Swol Life presents the Gregg and Joe show. I love the longer shows. I love them too, but I just
Me too.
I want people to watch the whole thing, because then if you miss something, that's
right.
Fucking
plus, you know what happens though too. Plus, on us, it becomes tough only because we have things to do over here. It's 5 p.m.
I got some stuff to do as well. But guys, thank you so much. Make sure you take care of the guys who take care of us. Of course, that is Swol Life, MSM15. Also, Old Man,
This one's my favorite.
Chapel of Peace.
Why is it always? I can't get it right.
That's the Swole Man. Late fellas. See you next week.
All right, guys.
Don't forget, Greg. Lee, you're fucking funny, bro. All right. Have a wonderful 4th of July, Independence Day, all of that good stuff. Don't fucking blow your fingers off. Somebody always fucking does. Don't blow your fingers off. Light the fuse and throw it up in the air. Don't hold on.
Go.
Thank you, guys. We love you. We'll see you on Wednesday. Be good.
And if you can't be with the one you love the one you're with.
There you go.
There you
right
go.
hand.